Hello, good morning, YouTube. It is High Priestess Jamila here early. I am here early. I woke up early. I went to bed early, woke up early. That's how I like it. How y'all doing? Um, so I really honestly don't want to discuss this, to be honest with y'all. Cause hold on a minute. Oh, it's kind of chilly down here. I realize that spirit must want me to talk about this, so I'm gonna see what spirit has to say, and about this subject about how I have an unmovable faith in goddess, spirit, divine essence, whatever you want to call it. Why I have faith in that, and absolutely zero in a president. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I have not voted in years. In fact, I do believe that I voted for Obama his first term. That was the last time, and that had to have been like 12 years ago. That was a long time ago when Obama first came into office. I just feel that the way the benefits of having faith in goddess and not the government. Um, Number one. Number two, it seems like, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and I know that a lot of people support Donald Trump. Here's one of why Trump. And one of the reasons is because the consciousness. I feel like we live under we end up having to live under the consciousness of that particular president. And this is one thing that I don't want to do ever since Obama. And it's not that I didn't that I disliked Obama or anything like that. There was things that I heard that he did that I did not like. But I can tell you one thing about Obama. Obama was in office when the Ebola virus popped up, and you see only one or two people in the United States became infected by that. I think there was probably maybe two confirmed cases. Why is it that when President Obama was in office, Ebola was handled so quickly and eloquently, but with Trump, they're claiming that thousands or hundreds of thousands of people have died from the coronavirus. Okay. So that bothers me. That bothers me. The fact that it has just been a very evil time since Donald Trump came into office. It's been a very evil time. And I think that some of the things that he said about women was disparaging. And I think that that's why a lot of witches and a lot of women don't like Donald Trump. They don't, because he basically disrespected the divine feminine by saying he grabs women by the crotch. And women have been in disarray since this man has been into office. Okay. And so the consciousness and the negative effects that Donald Trump has had over people. Okay, and I can sense the difference. There's been nothing but war, death, and destruction since Donald Trump has went into office. The energy shifted. And it shifted to where to where all of the American people are fighting for their lives, having to fight for their family. I know that for years I had to fight for my children that I gave birth to. I had to fight for them, and it made no sense. But then again, it did start to make sense because I noticed that when the whole deportation thing came up, I noticed that a lot of children, a lot of these people were saying that their children had came up missing and they could not find their children. So I feel like Donald Trump, for some reason, I feel that he and the consciousness that he puts out there is that he kind of, it's almost like an attack on the family, a serious attack on children has been happening since Donald Trump went into office. And I think that's the one thing that people just don't see. Now, what has Donald Trump done to help any of these people? None. What has he done for this child sex trafficking industry? Nothing. What has he done for anybody? What do any of these presidents really actually do for anybody? Now, Obama was serious about our health. In fact, he enacted healthcare programs, which was why we didn't see a huge blowout from the Ebola. And I think that Trump has got to be a sociopath for him to allow this to continue to go on. Okay. So I think that for me personally, it's not that I don't know much about his policies. I don't watch the presidential debates. I don't all of that stuff because really, to be honest with you, the government needs us more than we need them. That the government is some of the most codependent people. The reason why I don't like the government or the president is because guess what? Guess what? No matter who you vote for, none of them do the right thing. That's another. It's a gimmick. And people put their money, people put their faith, people put their energy into that, and it's just so fake. It's such a fraud. And so this is a lot of the reason why, of course, there's a lot of people that they debate, oh, well, religion and politics, they kind of go hand in hand, and they really do. They really do. Because so as far as me being very, very, very spiritual, people out there, they are just losing their minds over this thing. And so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what is happening as far as what they're doing with this with this coronavirus thing. But what I will tell you is that what I can sense is the frequencies that they're using. They are using frequencies. Okay. And it's a very, very negative, very, very negative, almost like past life regression that the United States of America is going through. And it's totally unnecessary. When we have a president one day that can stand up and say some of the things that Jamila says, then that's when you know that the president is about something. Until then, all this crap, this distraction, all these excuses. Because you see how they did y'all on them second stimulus checks, and I told you couldn't depend on them. Okay, I think they're going to give y'all something for Christmas, but I think that at the end of the day, people are going to have to become independent from the government. I personally, do I think we need the government? Not really. Not really, in my opinion. I think they make things worse. I think they move in to take advantage of people's energy, is what the government is responsible for, and that's it. The government, in my opinion, does somewhat control the media, so they get people in a tailspin. If you're addicted to watching the news and all of this crap, it's because they are pulling you into that so that they can control your mind. And you get caught up in all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden the world becomes so There's a lot of people that don't want President Trump in office. And since I announced that they were going to reelect him, people went into action. I'm not even going to lie to you. They don't want him in there. They don't. They don't. I can promise you that Goddess is working on getting him out of there. That's really, really what I feel strongly, is that the bad is outweighing the good benefits of this president. If people keep dying of the coronavirus, why are we not questioning the president? When in the beginning, he told us it was nothing to worry about. And it probably wouldn't have needed to be nothing to worry about, but I feel like they planting it in the food, and they planting it in the school so that your kids can come back home and give it to your family. You know? Good morning. Yeah, they are involved, and it's so weird because a lot of people think that it's about sex. It's not about sex. Children don't even produce sex hormones as far as with sex trafficking for kids, so it's not even about sex. It's about a demon that feeds off of the energy and the fears of children and people. It feeds off of the negativity. That's why it continues to happen. That's why that demon has to be starved. The government does nothing but feed the demon. They don't do nothing. In fact, the people that call themselves running things, they call themselves running things. Okay. They are high profile, but they scared a goddess, because there have been many, many children and families that they have targeted, and goddess ran their asses right up out of there. Trust me. Trust me. Goddess will run their asses up out of there. Goddess will change the whole situation. The spirit of witchcraft, women have the power, and you saw what he had to say about women just grab them by their coochie. This man emits the most horrible frequencies. I've been wanting to talk about this for the past couple of days. His energy is bad. I can honestly say that Donald Trump is evil. He's a rich, evil butthole, is what he is. And he doesn't care about people. You can't have a president that doesn't care about people. I don't believe he cares about people. I think that if he cared about people, we wouldn't be living in this world that we're living in today. He would have control over what is happening. But what they're doing is all spiritual, because the sacrifices are being put into place every single day. People are suffering and dying so that what? So that for what? What is it for? Thank you, sweetie. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, so I don't have faith in the president. I have faith in God, or goddess, if you want to call God or goddess. I have a unbreakable, unmovable faith in God that will never go away. Like I said, and goddess is the movement. She's moving like a snake all over the place because we are tired. And you know what? The American people, the only thing that they do is fear, 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 but they're not asking questions. They're not asking questions. They're not demanding something. And the demand is not for a vaccine. The demand is for them to quit planting this shit all over the place. I feel like they planting it. I feel like they want people to die, as many people as possible. That's what I feel. The president really is sick, but it's not a coronavirus. It's another kind of sickness. It's called demonic possession, which is the worst. Okay. So, I personally will not be, you know what? I'm not casting my vote this year. But I will tell you is that they tell you, if you won't change, then you need to vote. If you don't, But they can change whenever they want. They can promise you something and then break the promise. Goddess has never broken her promise to me, not once. Not once have I ever felt shaded or evaded by Goddess. Not once. Not once ever. And the consciousness of the people, the president has a huge ripple effect on our environment. Not just what the president is saying, but what they're doing and how they are making people react. Judging, good morning, Taylor May. Judging by the way people are acting, I'd say President Trump needs to be out of office. And I mean that. But then again, what's going to replace him? Probably something worse. So people are going to have to open up their eyes to see what we are dealing with. Those people end up being corrupted because they start looking at the world as like a list. It's like a smorgasbord of us. We're subjects to them. We're lab rats to them. They're doing heavy medical experimentation on us, not just with the Toyota Corolla virus, but also the frequencies that they are sending out that is affecting us every day. And they have been hitting us up with these frequencies every day. I have felt it every single day when I woke up. And this is what we need to pay attention to. Because Goddess knows that I'd rather be over here laid up. I'd rather be over here laid up in paradise. But unfortunately, we can't do that. We can't just lay up in paradise and give birth to more spiritually gifted children. We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to pay attention to what the heck they are doing. Every single day you wake up, they know how to change the air quality. They need to turn off them damn machines and stop trying to control everybody. I'm telling y'all, it's frequencies that they're using. That's why my spirits, they want me constantly playing either the Native American flute with a wolf instinct sound in there, or they want us doing something like that. They want the spirits is saying, y'all know that that water fountain that I have. They want that on constantly. Because what it does is it diverts those frequencies away from you as an individual. I'm telling you, I know that that's what they're doing. They are using artificial intelligence. They are doing too much. They are doing a lot. Just literally sending our spirits, our minds, our bodies through hell right now. And that's why that's why I'm speaking about this right now. I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't even want to talk about it. In fact, I got another show that I'm going to do next, which is related. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the negative frequencies that people that are tied up in that energy and that spirit will do. They've got so many of y'all subconsciously programmed. Y'all scared to have a man around you because you think he's going to take everything from you. And I don't know what that feel like. Every man I've been with is gave to me because I'm a woman. All I know how to do is receive. I don't know how to function on a frequency of a fearful person. So a lot of y'all women, that's why you single, but then now your money messed up too because you thought that what they were saying was the truth. So we're going to talk about that too. And while there's people that have an agenda, these people are soulless. They don't have a soul. They don't. And they are trying to teach people how to be. Listen, everything that they told you was a lie. You got to question everything that they have told you. You do. I'm sorry, because I can feel it. I can feel it on everybody. Everybody depressed. Why? Why is it that everybody's so sad and depressed? Does it make any sense? In fact, a lot of people that have it all are the worst off. They're the worst off. Why are they so depressed? You have to ask yourself why. I believe it's artificial intelligence. They have been doing experimentation with artificial intelligence for quite some time now, and they are using it. In fact, unless I meet somebody in person, y'all know I'm real because y'all have seen me. Some of these people can be CGI technology and not in a good way. So people have met and seen me in the flesh, thousands of people, okay? They've seen me. So they know I exist. But some of these people, they just in words, you know what the frequency is? The frequency is words. Words is the frequency. It's words, mainly how we spread it like a virus. Hey Sarah, good morning. And it just it's sad when you look around and you see people, because to be honest with you, right now, we are supposed to be having fun under a rainbow. They're going to take this into the holidays. I'm not going to let them mess. I'm not going to let the election, the hell with the election. I hope it all burns in hell, and I hope it all backfires on them. I'm sorry. First of all, the government does not need to make decisions about my money. That's what I realized, that they were making decisions about y'all money. And I'm not going to throw my life away for some damn retirement. We found out that was a huge mistake for some damn you know, they, because I get the printouts from the I haven't worked in 6 years, and I will never work again for anybody except for myself. I haven't worked in years though, but I get the printouts from the Social Security Administration from where I've been working for 30 years. Yeah, that we'll give you a check, you know, if you crazy enough, if we've broken your body, your mind, your spirit down enough, we'll give you a check. And if the check ain't $1 billion, I don't want it. So I'll never apply for retirement or any of that stuff. Never. See, that's why a lot of these organizations, like, for example, I think it was Yale University, they didn't take the stimulus check. They didn't take it because everything about it was a trick. And you know what? I wish I hadn't never gave them my bank info either. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's a trick. You don't need them for money, you know. And so they technically don't people think that the government controls the money. The government, do y'all think that the government actually controls money? The lobbyists may say it. They may go out there and go, oh, Jamila's on welfare. Really? Wow. Hmm. 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 That's interesting. You see what I'm saying? So they want you to believe that they control the money, but they don't. Goddess controls all of the money. All of it. What they got is literally what us as a people can manifest super exceeds what they give y'all. They don't even get why would somebody why would somebody be on welfare? That's not even enough to pay your rent. And then also, nobody's going to be on welfare that's making the type of money that I'm making. I would go to jail. You can't earn a living and go, hey, I want welfare. No, they're not gonna. You can actually go to jail for that. Okay, I've seen it happen to people, and it's not worth it personally, vibrationally, energetically. And we've got to get people on the same page, in particular in the Black community, where Black men look at the all women as welfare recipients. They don't understand. That's why when they get a valuable woman, they tear her down and rip her apart and destroy her. They don't know the gem that they have. They don't know because what? Because they've been taught to not know. That president don't give you nothing. If it didn't give you life, it ain't gave you nothing. If it can't give life, it ain't giving you nothing. And I don't believe that the president's wife can give birth. So y'all know what that is. And listen, I want y'all to know something, that y'all need to get out of that frequency, live y'all life, and have faith in Goddess. She will protect us. She is protecting us from a lot of stuff that could have happened, but didn't happen. So for me, energetically, I separate myself personally and spiritually from all of that, because I know that that's not what I've told people. I've said, well, when you run a spiritual business, it's Goddess that pays your bill. It's God. It's ancestors. You know, when you guys come to me to get spell work, that's ancestors. Your ancestor has brought you to me so that I can help you. And it's usually them real old ancestors. Okay. It's usually the really old ones that you ain't never met. And then sometimes it's the ones that guided you in your lifetime, but a lot of times it's the ones that you've never even met. Okay. And so, I have faith in that. And you know what? It's carried me through this far. Okay. It has, and it always will. When I, put all of my faith into myself and into God or Goddess, my life has never been the same. It's been wonderful. I've had a lot of progression and a lot of strides forward, whereas, previously, and I could have had faith in Goddess and got a job, but that's not where I was supposed to be led. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, when I had my breakthrough initially in 2018, and it was towards the end of 2018, actually, it was when I had that breakthrough. Here we are 2 years later. People were like, well, if you got all that, why you ain't got this? Why you ain't got that? But it says, see, now I got that. And now they want to say, oh, she ain't got nothing. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's because you put your faith in the government. You actually think that they have control, and they don't. People have faith in that. They've been peeping out Trump for years, all these evil people, and they've been riding his coattail for that. They've been clout chasing Trump and his evil reign of terror over America, because that's all he's doing. Good morning, Triple Darkness. I'm sorry, all this stuff is happening. Why did you tell the children to go back to school, Donald Trump? Why did you do that? You think that their institutionalized education is worth my child's life? Never, never. Okay, we see kids in school. They're doing all these cool things, and yeah, it's okay to be creative. We're not saying that, but at some point, somewhere, that system became corrupt, just like all government systems have become corrupt. All of them. All of them is just like a big demon that wants to be fed. Nobody's questioning, well, why has crime gotten so bad? I can tell you why, because these departments, they want to grow. So that means that somebody that statistically has to be killed, shot, raped in order for that system to blossom. It shouldn't have never happened. They claim that it was because the world grew. I don't know. I don't know. So I think that that's why a lot of people are saying to defund the police. That's what that means. A lot of people that don't understand defunding the police, they're scared. They don't have the protection of Goddess. I've had evil demons standing in my home that meant me harm, and they walk out of that door and they don't never come back. You don't see them no more because they meant to do me harm. So I don't have faith in that stuff. I don't have faith in the police either. The police, they not there to save you. Why people think the police is there to save you? The police come after the crime done already happened. They just there to clean it up. So you as an individual, statistically, you're going to get caught up because, oh, this department, all of the signs were there. I was watching the Gabriel Fernandez story. And there's a part in the Gabriel Fernandez documentary where there's a Black woman. She is the head of the police department. And she said, we are the #1 growing police department in the California area. And I'm like, yeah, you're growing because people are dying. People are being killed. Crimes are being committed. Say it. Say it. You need to not want your department to grow. Oh, we've got to extend this department because we found out that they've been dissolving people in acid over here on 35th Street. So we got to open up a whole new forensics department. Aren't you excited? We're growing. Now we need more government funding. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand. It has. And so nobody should be happy about a police department growing. That's why California, New York, and Florida, Georgia, totally different situation. Main states, California, New York, Florida. These are 3 of the major cities, 3 of them that they are working on right now, that Spirit and Goddess is working on right now. There's a literal, I wouldn't even want to go visit those places right now. And I know people in every one of those places. I have clients in New York, California, and Florida. Okay. And I know what they're going through. Every time I get on the phone with them, you can feel it. And they don't really understand that it's swarming around you. The president gave you a hint when he said it was an invisible virus. Okay. But now what is happening under his watch to where our children are testing positive for COVID? Why is that happening? Okay. Oh, yeah, it is coffee time. We just made some coffee. You have a true gift that you have my daughter. Oh, really? Did have we spoke before? Have we spoke? Have you had a reading with me before? Oh, yeah. It is real. It is real. And people are so brainwashed that even though they know that it's a demon right there, they'll still be in denial about it. And they rather just let the demon tear them apart and tear them down instead of admitting that, this is something very, very negative that you need to banish. You're in New York, yeah. Come on, you know what? I almost want to say come on down here to Georgia, but but yeah, y'all both need to get out of New York. And I'm gonna tell you something. I had to get out of my hometown. I had to get out of my hometown. People don't listen though, and so I think that they are doing a lot of things over there in the Midwest, especially over there in Chicago. Oh, goodness. I'm glad I'm far away from Chicago as possible. They got a lot of evil going on over there in Chicago. That I don't know who is who runs the state of Chicago, the state Senate. Probably need to look at whoever that is. It's something going on over there. It's crime over here in Georgia too. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of horrific stuff, y'all. It's a lot of horrific stuff that goes over here in Georgia. It's horrific stuff going on everywhere. But why? You think it's just because people are evil? I don't think so. I don't think people are just evil. I think it's something going on. And I think and like I said, I think my little man done went to sleep up there finally. So we do need to talk about the zombie apocalypse. I think that's how I'm going to segue into the other discussion that I want to have about, people and their influence over people and why people that you would never suspect would have such a powerful negative influence over your mind how they're doing it, and why you have to start protecting yourself. Okay? Because anytime you got a bunch of people or a person calling a person that was celibate for 7 years a hoe, we know that something going on. Somebody using some kind of tricky spirit. Something must be mentally wrong with somebody or something for you to seriously. So we got a lot going on right now, and you know what? I'm sorry, the goddesses are gonna have to be protected. The witches and the women that are out there that are putting themselves out on the front line during this time, you know what I'm saying? They should be respected, valued, and protected. Not questioned, judged, harassed. But trust me, we got enough we dealing with. That's a part of it. That's a part of it. And everybody's house is messy right now. Everybody's house is messy. Even if it's clean, and I'm getting ready to go in here and do my dishes in a minute. Everybody's house dirty right now because of what's going on in the world. So y'all need to grab your sage sticks and start saging. Yes, they are a fire hazard. You have to have something underneath it. Get you an ashtray or something, something fireproof, and go throughout your whole house and sage it. Then there's people that are haunted, literally got spirits. Everybody got spirits roaming around. I'm used to it. I'm not afraid of a spirit. Okay, I'm a medium. But there's people in denial. You know, they got spirits at their own house, and they'll blame it on Jamila. Where do you think you at? Where do you think you at? It was a spirit that was at your door, and you just thought it was Jamila. So everybody afraid, everybody's scared of what Jamila talks about instead of facing it, which is what a lot of people do. They don't want to face their fears. They want to avoid them, blame it on somebody else. Well, the only way I could be responsible for it is if I were God, and I don't think I created the universe. Okay, I don't think I created the universe. So, you know, I mean, people start opening your eyes. Stop getting mad at you. People will know that spirit exists for sure, but they will come and say that Jamila is crazy and that I'm horrible and bad because they're scared of a freaking spirit because they're spooked by it. They're spooked by that. And it's like, well, you can't be spooked. Like, what you need to be afraid of is not understanding what those spirits are saying to you. And then also half of y'all, it's probably your ancestor trying to contact you, but you've been so far removed from anything real spiritually that, you know, you don't even really know what's going on. You don't even know what they saying to you. That's why you have to have somebody interpret it. Now, people like that don't come and get readings. They avoid readings. Those of you that contact me for readings, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And they say that we're crazy. If I see anybody else say, because I'm going to tell you who's crazy are the people that are avoiding spirit and what spirit is trying to say to them. Those are the crazy people. The people that can calmly and coolly and collectively let you know what spirit is saying to you, those are the ones that you need to listen to, not these people that are hysterical, that are running around here in hysterical blindness. That actually can happen to you. You can actually go blind from stress, and a lot of people are hysterical over things that you shouldn't even be afraid of. You should have been well prepared for them. I think even in the Bible, it says something about Revelations, the zombie apocalypse. But see, these things are being recreated because people are afraid to live outside of the box. Okay. So I don't know why my views went down. Maybe it's just something that StreamYard is doing, but I didn't plan on being here that long. So guys, stop putting your faith in the government. I'll be glad when this whole election is over. Every damn time you turn on something, I'm about to pay for YouTube TV without the commercial. I don't want to hear nothing about no ballot, nobody, no Senate that's running, nobody that's running from the state. I don't care. I don't want to hear about how much it's going to cost and all this stuff. I don't care. The cost is more than what y'all think. If somebody is going to actually make changes, I would rather it cost more. They'll tell you, don't vote for this person because they're going to cost you a lot of money. Man, I hate the media and commercials and stuff. Don't try to control me, make me cheap. Oh, you mean to tell me that an extra $1 out of my paycheck is going to freaking disturb me? Or maybe an extra $5 on my taxes that year. I'm supposed to sit and complain about that and say, and that's why I don't want nothing to do with. I don't want nothing to do with none of this stuff that they're doing because politics have been corrupted for years. We ain't had no real presidents since they shot Kennedy. We ain't had no real presidents since then. They all been fake. A lot of them been green screens. You don't even know them people. I would never put my faith into somebody that I don't know. That's what spirit teaches us. I went through hell. I went through hell as President Donald Trump as president. And I know it was because of him. I'm just going to say it. Ain't had nothing to do with me. Because who was that was after my little boy so hardcore? Somebody was after my son hardcore. And God has stood in front of it and said, you're not going to touch this family because she has told us what you've been doing. If you sit there and cry and have nervous breakdowns and things like that, then hear you. Maybe your guardian angels will hear you, but you got to sit down and you got to talk to the spirits about what's going on. Because they not just going to automatically know. Okay? That's why I do what I do and I get paid for it because I don't mind sitting there talking to spirit. I ain't embarrassed and ashamed of nothing. I know I ain't talking to myself because why is it that every time I do what I do, the results come through? So we know that it's something there that you just can't see, feel. You can definitely smell it. And sometimes you can feel it. You can see them now. We're going beyond just feeling right now, okay? Because they got a lot of people just messed up. Folks sitting there all day watching the news and just becoming more and more depressed, sad, because they know that system ain't gonna work. And then it's narcissism as well. It is. And I went through hell for with Donald Trump being president. I can tell you that. No follow-up, no nothing. Everything changed. And in my humble opinion, I do believe that he should have just stuck with being a real estate tycoon and not a death dealer or a soul dealer. I feel like he done moved up or moved down in the world to where now he dealing souls. Evidently. If you sitting up here running around here allowing children to get sick in school when Donald Trump knows that school is not what educates people, not really. He knows that as a real estate tycoon, he knows that. It was unbelievable. You know what? And Jamila wasn't paying attention. Didn't nobody come and tell me? Nobody said anything to me. They said that with the last time I heard about school, otherwise I would have said something months ago. I was out of the loop because I don't send my kids to school. My children have been homeschooled for the past several years, and I will never change it for other reasons because of who I am. All y'all can't fit in with that. Okay? So if I would have known, I thought that they were doing it all distance education. Why would they bring any child back to school? I didn't even know that. Now I know. Now I'm ready to get rid of him out of office. That was a horrible decision, especially for states where it's a requirement. You don't have a choice but to send them in to catch viruses and kill you and your whole family. I would say that Donald Trump obviously is a part and he's okay with the worst, most silent and invisible terrorist attack on American people. We are standing in the middle of a secret terrorist attack is what I feel at this point right now about him as president and about all of it. It's domestic terrorism. It's horrible. And I'm usually the person that looks at the positive, but I can tell you that for a year straight, the entire 2020 has been all about this man trying to be reelected. I don't care about you being reelected. I care about people. I don't care about him winning the rat race. I care about the souls on this planet that I'm supposed to care about. So I don't know what he's talking about, but all I know is that we are tired of living this way. Every damn day is something different. It's getting on my nerve, y'all. It really is. And it's messing with the peace and harmony on this planet. And goddess don't like it at all. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. The prediction that I did, it can be subjective. It can change. I believe that there's some people that are trying to make some changes right now to keep him out of office. Do I believe he will still be reelected? Yes. Do I believe that people are going to have something to say about it? Yes, they are. But I think that it's not just about Donald Trump being, who cares? Whichever one of them are in there. Whichever one of them are in there, why would you put your faith into that? I don't have any faith in them. That's why I'm not on welfare. That's why I'm not on those things, because I don't have faith in that. And I think that you end up giving up so much of your energy. That's my humble opinion about the situation. That's why I disagree with it, because I believe that they break down your mind. They put you into a sick mind state and to where you are codependent on them and you feel like you can't make it or function without them. So then we end up having to deal with the problem of our peers and the people that are around us. So, you know, and your goddess can't be codependent on, your goddess is not going to be codependent on the government. Get up out of here with that. No, yeah, and that's why I manifested the way that I did, but there will be many others, because we know they work through that system. I figured that out years ago. So now we can't, the goddess ain't, why would the goddess need to be dependent on that? Because see, they see the government as masculine energy. They see the government as the source of masculine energy. Guess what? It's not. That's not where your masculine energy came from. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Because the last president that we had, they said Obama was gay. And we know that gay men have masculine energy. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But they do have a lot of feminine energy. It's a totally different thing. And a gay man's perspective is going to be totally different from a straight man's perspective. No shade to gays. Okay? No shade. But I'm just saying. So, you know, and I wish that nobody would vote. I bet you we should do an experiment as the American people. Nobody should vote at all and see what happens. They'll still have votes. I bet you if everybody decided to not vote, you know what I'm saying? They would still have votes. Like you'd be like, but nobody voted, but they would still be counting y'all votes. And then you'll see how fake it is. I don't like how President Trump disrespected women. And so women have been doing nothing but getting disrespected just the past few years. And since his wife was like a prostitute, our first lady is like a prostitute. Since his wife is like that, that's why, and it's such a de-evolution of that. Goddess ain't having it. I can tell you that this whole thing where they're trying to devolve the woman, it ain't gonna happen ever. The women are gonna win. And for some reason they act like the intelligent women like myself, like we don't have the ability to seduce everybody. Oh, we will take over. We will take over the intelligent women. And yeah, we're very sexual. You ain't got to be a hoe to be sexual and to please your man. But see, that's what Donald Trump thought because he's a silly man. That's why his wife is naked, butt naked in magazines. And the way that things have happened, I used to look up to Trump. I used to look up to him. You know that, but back when I was wanting to get into real estate and stuff, and I would see him hanging around all these rich and famous people. Okay, yeah, I know it because it's the truth. They would still elect whoever they want to do whatever they want to our minds. And I think personally that if we don't conform with it, that they will continue to throw stuff, they will enact stuff. They've got crisis actors to keep you in a sad place. Will they implode against us? I'd rather go through the fight. I'm sorry, I'd rather fight. When they was threatening me and saying that I'm not going to give you your liberation and your freedom, I said, well, you know what? I'd rather die for it than I'll fight for it. Then I'm not going to sit up here and just lay down and fold. Everything that has happened to you the past few years have been because of this consciousness that we're living under. And so when President Trump announced that he had corona a virus, all of a sudden I started feeling some type of way. I'm like, what the hell? So the president is a Gemini. They know how to project out to people very well. And I know how to send it back. He's a Gemini, so it's in his nature. He's two-sided. There's definitely a very, very evil and sinister side to that man. And then there's the man that we see. I wish that I could say that behind closed doors, he's just a loving man, but he's a machine. And yeah, money is important because money is a manifestation of your energy. But see, President Trump has to understand that the houses that was built, those houses that made him a rich man, they was built by the divine goddess. She invented it. She invented it. She just had her man build it for her, but she thought of it. So he's not going to sit up here and do this to women. And literally why has there been a housing crisis for women since Trump has been in office? Ironic, and he's a real estate tycoon. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. They are doing certain things, like for example, the CDC. They are trying to help us. They are. They're trying to give us some kind of leeway. They are. I'm not playing with y'all. They are. They are trying to give us some kind of leeway. Okay, because they've been helping people out. So if you're having issues where you're facing eviction, they can cover you for the next couple of months. Please do not go around in limbo trying to be codependent on people. There's going to be very few jobs. No, you can't get, you can do whatever you want. Just don't traffic no children. Go and start a business. There was an Amber Alert the other day too. I got to check on that and see what happened with that. Make sure that child made it home safe. Because what they doing is they doing everything and anything to survive, selling kids, selling their women. Anybody that gives a damn about their family, they hiding their kids and they hiding their wife. Ain't nobody out here talking about, hey, my wife and kids. No, man, they underground somewhere. You have to hide your kids and hide your wife right now. It's pathetic. It's sad Where does all this horrible stuff come from? It comes from lack of money. But if people only knew that money literally grows on trees, they don't know it. Only a few people are going to find this information out. That's why I tell people, well, it's not just Jamila that is flourishing and growing. And I can grow your business too. You can do it. You can do it too. You can do this too. Why don't people understand that? Why? Because you don't understand. First of all, not enough of people are meditating. They're not meditating. The only thing that you get is those frequencies when you wake up in the morning. And see, I'll stay in it because I can tell what's going on in the world just by waking up in the morning, and I can sense and feel everything. I can even predict what might happen that day. We got to have these frequencies going. Otherwise, they're going to touch you. If you don't have your house and your family protected, you're probably going to be in some kind of turmoil. Okay, if you don't have your head protected right now, everybody needs to be covering up their head. Right now, everybody should have their head covered. In fact, your head should have been covered for days. Okay, your hair is not protection, your hair is an antenna. And if they can get into your DNA somehow, and it's through sound and frequency. Okay, sound and frequency is very powerful. When a person speaks, their voice is powerful. Their voice has an influence over you. That's why I unsubbed. I unsubbed from recently, y'all. Y'all better be careful who y'all sub to too. I was subbed to somebody to where he's a gay man. Him and his husband was just up and down. He was exploiting his relationship with YouTube. I had to unsub. I said, I can't do this no more. I don't agree with this. This man just kept exploiting his relationship. Hey, Jules, good morning. Good morning. He kept, and I said, why am I subscribed to this person? I quickly unsubbed this morning, today, because he just exploits his relationship for YouTube. He's got millions of subscribers. And I'm sorry I had to go. He's a funny guy, but I'm sorry. Just that, no. Mm-mm. That ain't even how relationships work. Relationships are supposed to be harmonious and it's supposed to be a synergy. The reason why that relationship goes up and down is probably because it's not a traditional relationship, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I am encouraging you guys right now highly to make sure that you have 4 things right now. A pot. Okay, the 6 things. A pot, a stock pot, or either something you can boil something on, some water. You may want to go ahead and get a couple of gallons of distilled water or either spring water, something that's been filtered, and maybe we shouldn't be using the tap water for our brews. We need to do the brews on the stove. We need to do that like as often as possible. In fact, make sure you get you some onions, some garlic, and some lemons. Okay? Onion, garlic, lemons. Put it on the stove and boil it. You can add extra herbs. Okay? Y'all better do that because right now, a lot of people don't see it. I feel it. It's an awful, dreadful feeling. Please do not get up in the morning and send your kids to school. Think about it. Think about this. Okay? Now, as far as my stance on education, I think that middle school education and high school education is very important. I don't think that elementary, it's some about that elementary thing. That's what my spirits are saying. They're saying that middle school and high school may be okay in the future. Right now, it's not because we're dealing with biological warfare. Okay? Exactly. Jules Griffin, when the man and the woman's energy is flowing together, they can produce and manifest anything. That's why they attacked your homes, they attacked your relationships, your sexuality. They wanted you to be as weak as possible, okay? And without any defense. But we all know that man and woman, a man and a woman, God is ordained to be a man and a woman. We know that their energy flows together and it's going to create something. Either it can create hell or it can create heaven. It's your choice. Okay? So, all this stuff that they're talking about, these frequencies that they're sending out, there's a lot of stuff that I could really talk about that I'm going to do patron only content because I know my patrons believe in everything that I say. And I've got something, I'm going to do a recording. I'm a somehow record something, a podcast, so that I can talk to you guys about something really, really important. Okay. And I'm not going to put it on YouTube at all. It has nothing to do with an individual person on YouTube. It has everything to do with what is happening universally. But I will give you a hint. It has something to do with sexuality. And I'm going to say what I got to say. And I'm going to just say I said what I said. And then that's it. So, do what just listen to what I'm saying to you guys. Your whole environment in your house will change when you do the brews on the stove. And I will link, or maybe I'll even record a new video because going through the videos can be hard. You can search for the video too, but I'll upload a updated video where you need to boil onion, garlic, and lemon on your stove. And literally it'll clean the air because the air outside can be very toxic. Every time the air is toxic, I can taste it. I can feel it. The air is more than likely toxic than not. It's sad, but it's the truth. One of the days where the air has not been toxic, it's usually been when Goddess has been invoked. And trust me, I've been invoking her every single day, and they're constantly trying to block her energy out. If you don't have Goddess's protection, you go outside and it's like, ooh, what is this? You can smell it. It'll be a funky smell too. Sometimes you can even smell it. It just smells like funk outside in the air. The air ain't supposed to smell like that. So that's why in your individual house, you have to control the air quality in your individual house. Okay. And I learned that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So when I first got to Georgia, because I noticed that for some reason the air last night was real dry. Ooh, it was dry. My nose was dry. I was like, what is going on? Georgia is a place with a lot of humidity. And the air is just, oh God, so I'm telling y'all, make sure that y'all do that. And then also sage in your home. Okay, sage in your home. And I got some things I want to talk to you. We're not going to, trust me, I've only tipped the iceberg. I'm not trying to get people over on Patreon because the people that are there, that's the people that's supposed to meant to get the message. So I don't trip off of how many people. Everybody always tripping off of quantity. Quantity ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay, it's all about the quality. And only a few select people need to be conscious for us to make that change because everybody else is going to be unconscious. And I'm not angry at people that are unconscious about this. I'm not angry at them. I love them still. And I'm sorry, I'm not. So I'm not dividing us up between groups of people that know and don't know. And I think it's important to show patience for people that don't know. Because getting angry at them is not going to help. In fact, it's just going to make things worse. So getting angry at people that don't know, that's a waste of energy. Focus on the people that do agree with you, that can help you in your initiative. And they're helping by being conscious. And by them being conscious, hopefully that will spread to other people. Because this whole thing to where you just lay down and go to sleep because they feel that it's too many people, on the earth. If you agree with that, if you agree with them in any way, please ask Goddess to purge you of your sins, which is your demons. Please ask her to do that because you're on the wrong side. I can promise you that the side of the people that wanted death and destruction to this planet, they are losing. What they tried to do backfired on them because they were really trying to kill a lot of people. And it's the same thing that they've been doing for years. That's just like y'all remember that that spoof movie, the spoof movie of The Exorcist at the beginning of Scary Movie, when instead of the priest actually helping the little girl, he just blew her head off. And then it's sad when you know how to help people, but you refuse to do it. You refuse to do it because you feel like those people ain't worth a damn. You feel like those people shouldn't be here anyway. Well, who in the hell were you to judge? No matter, even if they're walking around in their ignorance, it's not your call. You know, now as far as people that commit horrific crimes against people, you know, and people that decide on the fate of those people's lives, you know, that is something totally different. Okay. But I personally think that when that system goes down, we will have less crime. We'll have less crime. To the point where, you know, what, because that's what they're saying. They're saying, well, you need our protection from all these criminals, but we know that they're creating the criminals. They're creating them, you know, and it's sad, but it's the truth. And am I scared? No, you shouldn't be scared. If you're scared, that means that spirit is taking over your body. That means that it won, it's taken over. So make sure that you guys listen to what I'm saying to you, because the next month, the next couple of months, they are going to continue to bombard us with fear and artificial intelligence and entities and created phantasms they done created just so that they can control the election. Just so that they can control an election of what? Of codependent people that need bodies and blood from the American people. I'm tired of it. They're doing nothing for you, no matter what side you're on. They don't. Look, if you're the type of person that says, I want this people to do this and do that, or I'm on the side of this, it doesn't matter. They're not making the decision. It's Goddess who makes that decision. And God is usually the individual person. God is merely a higher version of self. That's who God is. To everybody, every individual person. I don't have to sit here and lie to you so that I can be queen of the world. That's not what I want to do. I would rather live in a world with people that are informed than with people that are confused, because as an empath, that's all I do is deal with and feel the people that are confused. So why would I want you? And then people will say, well, just kill your enemy. Well, then they're going to come back and haunt me, probably. Why would I need, listen, we need to start figuring out why it's so chaotic, what is going on, instead of just because people, I mean, the people that are under mind control, those people are obvious, okay? We can see them under mind control. You can see it every single day in the people that you are around, especially if you're in a relationship. A lot of people have been complaining about men. Okay. And I listen to women. A lot of y'all have been trained in program. Oh, don't listen to her. Well, Jamila does. And so I hear everything that y'all saying. And I am 100% on y'all side when it comes to that. So we have to heal our men. We don't, that we killing them. What good is killing them gonna do? Then we won't have any men. We have to heal them somehow. Our sons, our fathers, they do have to. Now, some of y'all fathers and elders, they are gone. They just gone. I'm telling you, you can't get them back because they gone on this stuff. They done checked out. But the people that are still here, you have to work on them. You do. And you have to, they need cleanses. They need that contract broken. There's so many people walking around with contracts on them, which is the demon. You know, somebody done gave you over and you still giving over because you ain't took yourself back yet. So it is a lot of people walking around soulless, but because their souls have been snatched. And if your soul has been snatched, they can put anything inside of you. They can put anything. That's why I'm real careful on YouTube too. As far as what I'm not gonna let no crazy stuff control me, because I can tell you that it is very easy to get wrapped up into that negativity and control. That's a distraction from what you're supposed to be doing. So I refuse to be distracted anymore. Seriously. What's up, Kiki? Grand rising to you too. Hello, hello. I know. I know. I go too far against the grain, and so they don't want people to see me. But people still see me because I make sure that God is in that air in the sky every day. I make sure that she's up there because if it were not for her, these criminals, they would just destroy the whole world. And that would be a very sad day. And what's sad is when they destroy individuals. The thing of it is that as individuals, we have to fight our own battle or either get somebody else to do help us with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Kiki, you better invoke that dark goddess. You better invoke her. I agree. It is hard, but make sure y'all do those brews because what I feel is that a lot of people are feeling sick. I feel that a lot of people are feeling sick to their heart. Another herb that you guys need to get is valerian root, motherwort, mugwort. A lot of y'all need skull cap. And while I'm practicing what I preach, I'm going to go make me some tea as well. So I'm not just telling y'all to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it. Otherwise, your mind is going to create all of these things that don't really exist, all of your fears. And you can tell many of the people that did not do their work on this, why is it that people don't listen? They don't listen. They'll sit there and they'll listen to the president for hours, but they won't listen to what Goddess is saying, and she's the one that you need to listen to. What did I tell you guys? I said we have a lot of people said the full moon was in Aries. No, we were in Pisces. I have a little thingy. It was not in Aries, it was in Pisces. So we were dealing with Neptune. Neptune is all about fears. Go look up all of the energy and all of the meaning of Neptune. Fears, things that are unreal, illnesses, personal health, those things, sicknesses, those things. So a lot of people, when that Neptune moon came through, a lot of people could take advantage of it. So they put a lot more fear in people so that they control them, so that they could control them. So the things that you fear that are totally unreal are manifesting in your mind and in your life, and it doesn't even exist. So that's how they were able to. And I told people, I said, look, I said, your worst fears are going to manifest in your mind, and then the rest is going to follow. So you have to be careful. You know what they did? They went and listened to a damn presidential debate. They didn't care about what Jamila had to say. And that's why they saying and doing the stuff they doing now. Okay, they have lost their minds. The woman is going to have to be the person to pull everybody out of this. And she can't go and agree with everything that they say. You cannot be a woman, and men can't say, oh, well, you're only a woman if you agree with everything that I say. Bullshit, because if I do that, you're going to lead us into destruction. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to come and get y'all started today. We all know what the ignorant folk are gonna do, but all of y'all that are intelligent, y'all gonna get those lemons, garlic, and onion, and you're gonna boil it on the stove, and then you're gonna feel the difference. You're gonna see the difference. You're gonna go, whoa. And you won't even want to go outside. Because outside, sometimes I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is. If they got some kind of way that they're putting this energy in the air. And they do it especially for some reason on Thursday and Fridays. So this is what gets people going, and they start being very fearful, and they start doing things that you don't even have to do. You're just reacting. Everything that you're doing it out of fear. So of course, if you create something out of fear, then what are you creating? If all of the energy that you put into what you do is created by fear, anger, self-hate, disgust, and non-hope, what do you think that you're going to create? And people have the right to defend themselves against you. Don't nobody have time for that. Okay. I had dreams of 3 black cats and mirrors 3 nights in a row after invoking Kali and Sekhmet. So those black cats, I believe that Kali, well, they can actually manifest themselves through any animal, but I believe that the black cats, it has something to do with some kind of hidden something that's about to come to the surface. It seem like they about to reveal something to you or something. Okay, something very deep. And so it may come through as something negative, because that negative stuff will make it look negative, but at the same time, something amazing is happening. Pay attention. Every time something negative is coming to you, you better look at the negative and go, huh? But then look at the positive. What's happening that's positive? I've noticed that I can tell that something positive is coming through because the enemy will start attacking. You see what I'm saying? Okay, copper and crystals. Okay, where I live, the police out here bullying our brothers, including one of my sons, is taking everything. Oh my goodness. Kiki, get out of there. Get out of New York. It's so bad over there. It's worse. That's one of the worst states. And we knew that it would be that way. Y'all already know that they had been predicting a lot of negative stuff for New York for years. Every time they show anything well, the Twin Towers was in New York. They attacked New York. And every time you see, even in the movies, something horrible happening is usually in New York. But there have been people that have been predicting and prophecies being stated about New York, and it is very true, because it's the location. That's why everybody started moving to Georgia, because they know intuitively that location is bad. Just even looking at footage of New York, I can see all of it. You can see it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what, Kiki? I know that you have the ability and the knowledge to pull your son through, because yeah, they want your son's energy. Well, that'll be wonderful, Kiki. I would like that. You can definitely, I know I would definitely meet up with you. We can have some lunch or something. Definitely. So yeah, definitely get out of New York, because it ain't right there. I'm telling you. And my hometown is messed up too. Why y'all think I got away from there? A lot of people say, well, I'm gonna stay behind it, but it's not you, it's the location that you're in. That's why in the day after tomorrow, they blew up Kansas City in that movie. Y'all know that Kansas City was featured. They used Kansas City to film the movie The Day After Tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, the day after, not the day after tomorrow, but the day after. The Day After Tomorrow was the sequel, okay, that they made, but the day after was filmed in Kansas City. So my spirits have been telling me to get out of Kansas City for years, and my aunt too, but she died before she could leave there. And every single person in my family that left Kansas City has been under attack. All of them. I have a cousin over here um, that died over in Georgia, and I connected with her spirit as well. She came to me probably about a month ago, and she had a lot of messages. I'm not going to reveal what she said to me because it's, it's personal, but I will tell you that, if it's in certain locations, yeah, those locations are worse off than others. And it's probably got a lot to do with what your state office and what they're doing in that state. Georgia immediately began to protect children last year because they knew you cannot get an abortion in Kansas. I'm sorry, not in Kansas City, in Georgia, if the baby has a heartbeat. You can't do it. And so what does that mean? Over in New York, I think you can get an abortion up to the 6 month of pregnancy. That's murder. It's got something to do with children. It does. And then everybody, I'm telling y'all, it has a lot to do with our children. And I was ready to die. I said, I will die first before you get your hands on my child. And because they coming for certain ones of us too. They coming for certain children that were born on certain dates with very powerful spiritual gifts. And I said, I'll be damned. I'll be damned before I let you get your hands on any of my children at any stage of their life. Because it's a lot more sinister than them pounding education in their head. Trust me, it's way more sinister. They was after my baby because they wanted my baby boy. They like mixed children. And I got a message for mixed and biracial people too. I got a message for y'all too. I'm gonna put that up. Y'all better start connecting with y'all ancestors because y'all have several. All of you people that are mixed, y'all got all this long hair and stuff, whether or not it's long, curly, short, nappy. A lot, even some of us nappy head people, we have white ancestors, we have native ancestors, we have, and all of them are going to be the key in you surviving this. So that's the reason why Sal Wayne is going to be so big for me. We'll have a lot of people because that is what's important. Okay, and all of the ancestors are here. They are all here, and they know exactly what's going on. And we are not talking about necessarily your great grandmother, her too, because but we're talking about the ancestors, the witchy ancestors. That's who we're talking about. The people that are the only reason why we are even still here. These are the ancestors that made sure that the people in your bloodline survived. These are your great, 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 great grandmothers, along with your great, 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 great grandfather, because your great, 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 great grandfather, he loved your great, 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 great grandmother, and he listened to her back then. So why you think that divine masculine energy is important? It's a lot of men out here, they go out in this world and kill themselves instead of listening to a woman tell them how to heal themselves. So we are connecting with those energies all the time. That's who you're connected with. But right now is more than ever, more than ever, I'm telling you. And so these particular, what's happened generationally, the last, I don't know, 20 generations, but the spirit went all the way back and pull those ancestors in. So those are the ones, those are the reason why you're here. Otherwise, if we would have went at the rate that these folks have been going the last couple of generations, but nobody would have survived. And if you notice, it's so sinister that your own parents are doing things to make it difficult for you to survive. Your own elders are turning against you because of envy and jealousy. You should want the future seeds of that generation to do more. So our parents were generation Hex, Hex, Hex. They said we was generation X, but our parents and even some of their parents was generation Hex. They were. I'm sorry, chasing, stalking, harassing your family, that ain't gonna help them survive. Deuces, your family should turn away from you. I'm sorry, this ain't no game. When it comes to my reputation, when it comes to my livelihood, if you in my family and you do anything, if you a family member and you do anything to mess up the balance of my family and my livelihood, my food, my shelter, you are an enemy and you will be dealt with by Goddess. I don't care who you are, what your excuse that you making. That's all it is an excuse. And you deserve that karma if you've been trying to make things harder on your people to survive, running around here spreading rumors about them, trying to turn people away from trying to mess with their money. You got anybody right now that's trying to mess with somebody's paper so that they can get their family's food, or if you're trying to make people codependent on the government, if you on that side, if you a government agent trying to pull people into the government, you got it coming. Goddess is not playing that. And I have educated all of my sisters about what's up with this stuff that's going on right now. If you are trying to do that, you are on the wrong side and you will be dealt with. We don't have to do spells on you, but we will, just because we like doing spells and rituals. If you messing with any woman's money, any man's money, you on the side of that demon. And yes, I do believe that some people don't need to be sustained. Their energy is so toxic. So people that are right now under attack, the right people, they supposed to be under attack. But the folks that was attacking me and doing all that stuff, I'm still trying to heal from it. It was horrifying. It was horrible. And my spirits are gonna make sure that we all heal. It's been horrible. A bunch of unnecessary crapola is what it's been. Unnecessary. Has nothing to do with what the divine goddess wanted anybody doing. So, and then people will say, well, they hate and they jealous. Well, honey, too bad. If you try to mess with somebody's money, that means you trying to kill them. And you better have a damn good reason for trying to do that. If you don't have no reason for trying to do that, rock-a-bye, baby. If you ain't, and listen, if spirit is paying you dirt right now because you karmically was messing with somebody like that, and you sitting up here laughing about, oh, you and your family gonna starve to death and stuff like that, you better believe that you got that coming. Cause I go in my, listen, y'all, I don't get food benefits. And I'll go in there, I will whip together leftovers, goulash, whatever the hell I got to do to make sure my family is fed. And I make sure my family is well fed. I make sure my children get a balanced diet, fish, chicken. I'm not about to sit up here and do all that starvation and all that crap. Because many of you guys, they will go in through your belly, try to starve you to death. And then at the same time, feeding off of you. What do you think that's going to do to your heart, your lungs, your organs? Okay, period. So, and I'm not going to play around with these people and let you know. And even if you are an ancestor, there's no ancestor that cares about you that's going to come through and not feed your family and do things to you. No, that's not what the ancestors are going to do. So what you're doing is you're being tricked by demons, and it's like you think they're your ancestors, but they're not going to let them come through. And see, when you're dealing with people like me, I am a shaman. I'm a shaman. Spirits can come through me. Absolutely. How do you think that you get your readings and your messages? So that's important. It is important for you to know what these people are going to do to you, and what you're doing right now is going to do to your family. That's important. No, they not. And you, what you need for your immune system is not that crap. So I listen, I will let anybody get on my boat with me if you want to, if you want to get on the mothership. But if you sitting up here trying to tear down my mothership while I'm trying to build it, and you supposed to be family, uh-uh. Mm-mm. That's why they came. That's why the whole zombie apocalypse thing. If your family turned against you like that, and so what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, "Oh, I forgive you for trying to kill me for 6 years. I forgive you. You tried to have me killed for 5 years. I forgive you. I love you. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I ain't got no family. I got the family that I have is the family that I create, and I've been knowing that for years. So you better accept it. You better accept it. That's your family, your spiritual family. We are here for you. You ain't got to deal with those people. Those people are crazy. Sue Ellie, yes, readings do help with that. I've had a lot of people contact me about relocating. Georgia is a really good place to move to. Yes, it is. Um, and a lot of people, when they know that you are going to a place where you want to be, they'll stop you from doing that. But yeah, Georgia is a good place to relocate to. But a lot of people are discouraging it because they feel like the cost of living goes up. The cost of living is really good in Georgia. Okay, and I know that the cost of living is a lot cheaper than in New York, but cost of living it kind of isn't really always the deciding factor, because if you go over to Seattle, the cost of living is higher over there. But I believe that Seattle is a good place to relocate to as well. I think that in Georgia, because as soon as I got to Georgia, a lot of my spirits started talking to me. I had a cousin that relocated to Georgia too. This was over 30 years ago, though. She died over 30 years ago in Georgia. I've had many family members die in Georgia. Do I fear death? Nope. Why would I need to fear that? People are fearful of death. They are. And you know what? That's what's going to bring in that energy, is when you feel fearful of it. So, you know. Oh, do you really? You looking at Lithonia? Ooh, Kiki. You know what? It depends on what area in Lithonia. I didn't really like it in Lithonia, but if that's where spirit pulls you, then go with the flow. But I ended up over here in Stone Mountain. Anyway, I love you guys, and I want you guys to know who's really in control here. A lot of people will say, well, if Goddess is in control, then why are all these horrible things happening? I believe that it's either because people accept it, or people don't really know how to protect themselves, and can I just make a suggestion? Stop watching the news. I'm about to go, Ray's pick a card readings. I'm about to go. I don't even think, you know what, I do have a deck. I have a deck. But I kind of want it because I want to, no, not right now. Not right now. I'm always down for readings. I When you look back at all of this, up, my lighter just went out. When you look back at all of this, hold on a second, guys. All a while before I could see your daughter and Jacob playing together. I do, because we need to, women with children, especially, and a lot of you women that haven't given birth to children, you're still a woman. Okay. You're still a woman, even though you haven't given birth. You're still a woman. I don't think that you have to be, I don't agree that you have to give birth. Go through that, and to it just it's a trip. And so I have seen the way they are about our children. They think because other parents have done this, they think that we can't handle or control our children because other people can't. That's the problem. They think that and it's not about controlling your children, it's about teaching them to do the right thing. And make sure that you guys get under the Sal Wayne blanket of protection. You guys can cash at me or visit Etsy to get in the Sal Wayne celebration. Okay. And it's going to be a celebration because we're going to be great. Anybody that's underneath a witch right now ain't worrying about nothing. And that's the truth. If you under the wrong, you're crazy. If you under the right witch, you're sure about yourself. You know what tomorrow is going to bring, and you're feeling secure. If you're in the wrong environment, you're insecure, and that's the end of it. And so you can stay in that wrong environment, but make sure that you protect yourself, because anything goes at this point. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for coming, Kiki. Love and light.